Twin Peaks: Fire Walk with Me, 1992 film made by David Lynch, a movie that is simultaneously a follow-up and a prequel to the cult classic TV series Twin Peaks. If you haven't seen the series before the film, then you can just skip it altogether because you won't make any sense out of the movie. So the basic premise of the series was it started with the murder of Laura Palmer, and in the movie we get to see her actually alive in the last days leading up to her death. And we learn more about her as a person than the series ever showed. And there's also the supernatural lore of Twin Peaks, which is kind of expanded upon, I suppose. Okay, here's the thing. I have a problem with David Lynch. For the life of me, I cannot understand him as a filmmaker. Twin Peaks, loved by people, hailed as a masterpiece. Saw it, I think there are a couple of good things about it, but far from perfect as a whole, in my opinion. Mulholland Drive, many people praise it as one of the best movies in existence. Saw it, again, I think there are a couple of good things in it. Some hypnotic, mesmerizing sequences which feel like taken straight from a fever dream. But overall, I just don't get it. I don't get why anyone would say it's a good movie. And now with Fire Walk with Me, I think I hit rock bottom when it comes to that because honestly, I couldn't find a single thing that I liked about the film. There's the backstory of Laura, which kind of gives context for the TV series, but it is arguable whether or not it was even needed in the first place. There are some scenes with other characters from the show, which again don't really bring too much new stuff to the table. There are a couple of dream sequences, as always, which are properly creepy. I'll give them that. But again, after the first one, you kind of wonder what's the point. And then there are some scenes which just seem completely random. There's a fist fight at the beginning of the film. There's a short scene with Agent Cooper talking to Diane. And then David Bowie shows up for whatever reason. It has seemingly no connection to anything else. And then disappears from the movie forever. I'll be honest. I was bored. I was slightly tired. I was not entertained by the film in the slightest. I think it's an incoherent mess. I think that it's self-indulgent and pretends to be deeper than it is, much like other works of Lynch for me. And okay, I will admit that he himself is not a talentless filmmaker. In any case, you can surely at least shoot a properly creepy, unsettling scene. He's terrific at creating this mood of a nightmare where nothing makes sense and things are just off. But typically, there are just short moments of those scenes, of this mood. And then around that, much larger and much more flawed stories are built. And the biggest gripe I have with them, again, is my inability to grasp them. And I'm sort of willing to admit that maybe the problem is me. So each time I go on the internet or I ask people who like Lynch to explain to me, what is it about him that moves you? What did you like? And what in the hell is he trying to say in all of this? And unfortunately, the most common answer is that nobody understands Lynch, and that's the point. You're supposed to feel the movie, consume it with your heart instead of your mind. There isn't one common interpretation. You just have to choose what those movies are for you. Well, fuck off with that. That sort of explanation to me makes it seem like there just isn't anything to explain in the first place, and you're falling in love with a great empty facade. Maybe you're giving it more credit than it deserves. I know I'm not giving it any credit at all.